Ever notice how you walk like a robot after sitting at your desk all day? Or maybe you feel that annoying tightness in the front of your hips when you try to stand up straight? Welcome to the world of tight hip flexors. And trust me, you're not alone. Here's the thing. Your hips are supposed to move freely, but for most of us, they're locked up tighter than a vault. Hours of sitting, poor posture, and barely moving throughout the day have turned our hip flexors into stubborn, shortened muscles that refuse to let us move naturally. But what if I told you there's one specific hip flexor stretch that could change everything? I'm talking about a simple movement that doesn't require any equipment, takes less than 2 minutes, and could be the key to unlocking those tight hips that have been holding you back. In today's video, we're diving into why your hips feel so tight, the warning signs you shouldn't ignore, and most importantly, that one game-changing hip flexor stretch that could transform how you move and feel. So if you're tired of feeling stiff, uncomfortable, and restricted in your own body, stick around. This could be exactly what you've been looking for. What are hip flexors and why they get tight? Before we get to that game-changing stretch, let's quickly talk about what's actually going on in your hips. Your hip flexors are muscles at the front of your hips that lift your knees toward your chest. The main one is called the psoas muscle, and it connects your thigh bone to your lower spine, which means when it's tight, it affects way more than just your hips. Here's the problem. These muscles are designed to contract and release all day, but in our sit-all-day world, they spend most of their time shortened and contracted. It's like keeping your fist clenched for 8 hours straight. Eventually, your hand would forget how to fully open, right? Same thing happens with your hip flexors. When you sit for hours, your hip flexors adapt to that shortened position, but it gets worse. When they're tight, they pull on your lower spine, creating that duck butt posture and a domino effect of aches and pains. The good news? Once you understand what's happening, you can actually do something about it. So how do you know if tight hip flexors are your problem? Your body gives you plenty of clues. The most obvious sign is that pulling sensation right at the front of your hips when you try to stand up straight after sitting. You know that feeling, like something's holding you back from fully extending. You might notice you can't stand as tall as you used to, or that your pelvis tilts forward, giving you that duck butt posture. Here's one that surprises people. Lower back pain that gets worse after sitting could actually be coming from tight hip flexors. These muscles connect to your spine, so when they're tight, they literally pull on your lower back. Other signs include a shorter walking stride, difficulty bringing your knees up high, or a pinching sensation in the front of your hip when you squat or lift your leg. If any of this sounds familiar, especially if you spend most of your day sitting, your hip flexors probably need attention. The good news? The solution might be simpler than you think. Top 3. Hip flexor stretches now for the good stuff. The stretches that can actually unlock those tight hips. I'm going to give you 3 proven moves, but pay special attention to the first one because this could be your game changer. Stretch number 1, the kneeling hip flexor stretch, the game changer. This is the stretch that changes everything for most people. Get into a lunge position with one foot forward and your back knee on the ground. Here's the key. Don't just sit there. Push your hips forward while keeping your torso tall and straight. You should feel a deep stretch right at the front of the hip of your back leg. Hold this for 30 to 60 seconds, breathing deeply the whole time. Then switch sides. What makes this stretch so effective is that it targets your hip flexors in their most shortened position and forces them to lengthen. If you want to make it even more intense, try putting your back foot up on a couch or chair. That's why some people call this the couch stretch. Stretch number 2, the standing hip flexor stretch. Perfect for when you're at work or don't want to get on the floor. Step one foot back into a long lunge, but keep both feet planted. Push your hips forward and lean back slightly. You can hold onto a wall or chair for balance. The beauty of this one is you can literally do it anywhere. Next to your desk, in the kitchen while waiting for coffee, or even in a hotel room. Stretch number 3, the 90-90 hip stretch. Sit on the floor with both knees bent at 90 degrees. One leg in front, one to the side. Lean forward over your front leg, then rotate toward your back leg. This hits your hip flexors from multiple angles and improves overall hip mobility. The key to success. Here's what most people get wrong. They try to force these stretches, or only do them when they remember. The magic happens with gentle, consistent stretching. You're better off doing these for 2 minutes every day than trying to do a 20-minute session once a week. And remember, stretching should feel good, not painful. You want that good hurt of a muscle lengthening, not sharp pain that makes you wince. Making it stick Daily routine tips. Here's the truth. Hip flexor stretches only work if you do them consistently. Build them into your day like brushing your teeth. Start your morning right. Spend 2 to 3 minutes doing the standing hip flexor stretch while your coffee brews. This counteracts all the sitting you're about to do. Workday game plan. Set an hourly phone reminder. Do 30 seconds of standing hip flexor stretch right at your desk. Simple, but this prevents lockup during long work sessions. Evening wind down. Take 5 to 10 minutes before bed for the kneeling hip flexor stretch. It helps your hips and improves sleep. The consistency rule. Consistency beats intensity. Better to stretch 30 seconds daily than do an hour-long session weekly. You'll notice a difference within a week or two with just a few minutes of daily attention. If you've been dealing with tight hips, you're definitely not alone. In our sit-all-day world, tight hip flexors have become incredibly common. But here's the good news. Unlike complicated health issues, tight hip flexors respond amazingly well to simple, consistent stretching. No gym membership, no special equipment. Just you and a few minutes a day. That kneeling hip flexor stretch we talked about, that could genuinely be your game changer. Start small. Pick one stretch and do it every day for a week. Notice how you feel and move. I bet you'll be surprised at the difference. Your hips are designed to move freely. Don't let tight hip flexors hold you back from feeling your best. If this helped, hit like and subscribe for more practical health tips. Let me know in the comments which stretch you'll try first. And if you're struggling with persistent pain that isn't improving with stretching, you can get a second opinion by calling us or visiting our website. Thanks for watching, and here's to unlocking those hips.